Hello, guys. I hope that you rest after the after party yesterday, and this is your, let's say, first lecture in the morning. So today I have the privilege to say about the influencer marketing and how you can boost your user acquisition activity with that thing. But before we start, I tell a few words about myself. So I'm Kacper Mendakiewicz, the head of marketing Gamedesire group. I'm interested in the business and also the marketing aspect of the industry. I work in the industry almost 6 years, since 2017, when I started in the business development department. Then I have privilege to work with the live ops team, and finally go to the UA marketing. Also, I am the MBA graduate. Do not mislead that with the NBA because I am the horrible basketball player. Also, I'm not only the marketer, but also the gamer since 1919, as I'm the Game Boy generation. And you can find me on the Xbox and others playing, let's say, platforms at the nickname Kacper. And I encourage you to invite me on LinkedIn or scan the QR code. So that's it about me. And few words, let's say the nutshell about the company where I have privilege to work. So Gamedesire Group, who we are. Basically, we can divide our company into segments. Let's say the origin of the firm, so the Gamedesire. We are on the market industry, in the industry since 2000, where we specialize in social casino games. At first on the web, then we moved to mobile. So we have the titles like the poker, snooker, pool, and bingo. And then in 2018, we opened the new branch of our company, the Strikebook Games, where we specialize in RPG games. And we try to, let's say, use our experience in taking care about the high very monetization players with long lifetime. And thanks to that, as we almost 20 years on the market, we used our, let's say, advance that in 2000 years we have to produce all tools like the analytical CRMs in-house. So we use this knowledge and our, let's say, excellent live ops service to manage the whales. So right now, let's go to the, let's say, main course of my presentation. But before that, I promise in the intro that I will do a small recap about the marketing. So regarding the marketing, how it's work or how we want to work. So simple. We start with the adding the app on the App Store, and then choose the ad network and make the ad. So we believe that players, the users, will view our will see our ad, and they, let's say, we encourage them to click on that, then download to the game and launch it. And this is the moment where the magic is starting, yeah, because our app is sending the events, and MP get the signals, and then we can track and analyze the performance of our activities on the marketing. However, this is, let's say, the dream scenario, because the marketing is not simple. It's complicated, and there are many let's say, the environment is quite competitive. So we ask ourselves how we can trick the system, hack the system, and use our experience from the web. So to say about that, I would like to show you the timeline with the dates that are important for our, let's say, approach. So at the end of 2020, we make the brainstorming and discuss about how we can use our web experience from the old part of the business and use it in the mobile. So our business was based on the revenue share models and the white labels. And we asked ourselves, what if we use these models in the mobile? But how to do that? How we can track the players and how we can use the revenue share model in the mobile in the true way. Also, in 2021, the IDFA coming out. So that was the let's say second punch in the face that okay, the data is not available anymore, and it will be hard to be competitive on the iOS. Also, like I mentioned before, we have the strong knowledge about the data, and we have many tools that can be, let's say, useful for that kind of the things. And also, we have some European Union grant that we have to, let's say, combine and meet the specification that they have. So these three, let's say, dots motivate us to make the influencer marketing. And the first approach in the first year of in the first half of the year 2021. Then, of course, we find some problems. So we make many tweaks in attribution, in the creativities, and the whole, let's say, approach. So by the end of 2022, we make, like, let's say, the true 2.0 version of the influencers and our approach. And right now, we make the campaigns, test them, and trying to find the unicorn to make this business much more profitable as it is. So why did we decide on influencer channels? At first, our experience in the revenue share model, that we can use it. IDFA come out, and the analytical approach is in our DNA of the company. And this is, let's say, the business aspects of the reason why we decide to go to influencer channels. On the other hand, we have, let's say, soft reasons. Like we make the research, we read the industry reports, and we find out that influencers can help us to make the lower entry barrier for the users. We can use their effect of the authority. And also, the most important thing, that we don't have to fight with the machine learning, because we know what we buy, we know the influencers, and we can, let's say, have some predictions what the target will be. And these two, let's say, reasons help us to combine the raw data that we got from the MP, like the apps flyer, with our internal data to make the successful attribution for the influencers. Also, I mentioned that we have the European Union grant. So in that time, we developed the engine that help us to manage the emotion layer of the users during the gameplay. So we need, let's say, to teach our machine learning how to work, as this engine help us to manage the length on the specific parts of the gameplay, like the tutorial first battles, content adjustment, like it should be harder on the each level or let's say easier. Also the timing of the push notification when we should to force the people to come back to the app, and also the timing of the CRM offers, because we know that if someone is, let's say, lose the battle, is angry, he wants to revenge on the players, and in that time we giving him, let's say, better offers. So we combine that with our, let's say, perspective on the influencers, and we decide that influencers is the perfect sample to tune, as they have the specific behaviors and bigger engagement than typical players. So the European grant starts from the test in our company, where we invite the random players from the street or users. We record them and try to, let's say, find the emotions that they have during the play. Then this data we use for the Bartle model when we do the segmentation, and then our system is pushing the CRM offers and push notification up to their emotion stand. However, it's like the adds-on, because the main thing is the influencers. So I will back to this topic. So how looks the process on the influencers and how we manage it? This is the first version, and when I'm looking on that, I really have the pain in my, you know where. And sometimes I'm, let's say, wake up in the middle of the night with the scream that is the nightmare. However, we started with the manual research, so we go each day manually per influencers channels on the YouTube. We're looking for the channels that are, let's say, close to our audience, like the RPG games. Then we make the calls with the influencers where we make the intro about the game. And also we design the assets for them, like the unique for each influencers, as we believe we can make the one asset as it will be looks like the scam. So that's it. And then we make the Excel sheets to track the performance and make, let's say, the summarize of how it's work. And I know many people said that the Excel sheets is something typical for the UA managers, but that was the really manually work that we have to check everything on the YouTube and in the MSP platform. So at first, like I said, we start the research, so we go with the content. The games are similar to our, like Empire and Puzzle, right, and etc. We check on which media is the channel. What is the main language of the channel, what is the audience of the channel, if they are from the US, UK, Canada, Germany, or etc. And then we make, let's say, some notes that if the influencer speaks a lot, if an influencer show himself during the streaming, what is the average number of the views, what is the number of the subscriptions. If he is active, that means if he made the video in the last 7 days, if he has the or she has the active community. So if the people comment the things under the video, and then we have the status, like if we send him a proposal, if we negotiating or he declined the partnership, or we have signed the deal and we are happy to make the integration live. Regarding the assets, like I said, we make the assets individually for each influencer at the first stage. So that was the nightmare for the creatives guys and the motion designers. And we believe that if we send them the parts of the gameplay of the ads, they will be very creativity and they will make some, let's say, fireworks for us. Unfortunately, not. That was the mess, and they make, let's say, few things in other way that we want. So after that, we make the Excel files with the information. Where is the integration, the link to the commercial on the influencer channel, the views, what we expected at the beginning, the price we paid for that, the CPI. What's the CPM and what is the revenue he generates? So we calculate the ROAS after that, and we combine that things with the MP, as we use the attribution links for that, and thanks for that. As we have the attribution links, we also use the promo codes. So we were able to, let's say that if the player click on the link and then type the bonus code, we were able to say this guy is coming from that influencer or the other. So that was the hack in the system, let's say. And the first integration looks like that. So that was the dream scenario, that how the influencers should, let's say, make the integration. But we cutted this part. They cutted the video in the different parts. They give, let's say, the head in the wrong place, or the story that they saying was not, let's say, the narrative story, as that was so mixed and, let's say, anachronical. And as I said, we encourage the players to during the integration that they should click on the link and then use the promo code to get the bonuses. That was the carrot on the stick, let's say. So we believe that it will be work. However, we have, let's say, make falls because we are mistake and we learned few things after the first integration. So definitely, we confirm that thanks to influencers, we can reach direct to the target and we can have the better KPIs. However, this is the time-consuming process without the good optimization, because we have to click everything manually, speak with the influencers, and it's let's say very time-consuming. We also need the good BI infrastructure, as we notice the leak in the attribution, because the promo codes appears on the different forums, and we, let's say, count the players that shouldn't we count for the influencers. Also, the problem was the web, because many people watching the YouTube on the PC, so when they click on the link, we, let's say, lost the attribution. Definitely, we also need like the better assets and better manual script to be sure that influencer will say that what we want, and also he will be, let's say, followed by the story. Also, we noticed that maybe the QR codes will be the good solution for our problems, and we were surprised as the description on the YouTube have some limitations, that the links can't be longer than 26 characters. So we thought that we have to have the short links in the attribution. Also, we redesigned the welcome bonus, as the first bonus, let's say, make some noise in the in-game economy issues at the beginning. And also we asked one question mark ourselves, that can we go on the bigger scale? If we can we do it not alone? So after, let's say, this bullet points, we have the idea that we divide influencers to two groups. The first one is the direct, where we were reaching them directly by ourselves and propose them the revenue share model. And the second group will be the indirect, where we work with the agencies and the flat fee cooperations. So this process was not valid anymore, and I was glad to see the new thing. So we developed the tool that help us to scanning the channels and make some, let's say, predictions what we can expect. We developed the brief, which help us to, let's say, make it unique for influencers, and they have the instruction and the guide what they should say. It was the 30 slides deck for them. And after that, we have also the postmortem point, where we develop in Tableau the dashboard when we can track the players, the influencers, and their performance. So regarding the scanning tool, so we develop with the YouTube API the tool that help us to look on the performance of the channel before we sign the deal. So we can check the lifetime KPIs or the last 30, 60, or not even 7 days. So we were able to see what is the average numbers, the views, how many comments they have under the video, and that's helped us a lot to make the predictions how much we can pay for the influencers, or on the revenue share model, what we can, let's say, expect if we invest in that channel. The second thing was, like I said, the brief. So we prepared the the thing. And finally, we use the QR codes as that was, let's say, the game changer for us because the users do not have, let's say, any more click on the link, and they only have to scan the QR code. And with the QR codes, we use the deep links. So right now, everything's automatically, because when the player scan the QR code and he launched the game, after tutorial, he got all the bonuses. And this is how looks the let's say, last part of the video. So we make better assets and better, let's say, package for the influencers with the QR code, let's say, placeholder. So each influencer gets own QR code, and in his, let's say, duty was to put it on the video. And then we make the dashboard in the Tableau, where we combine the data from the MPP with our internal data, and we were able to look on the performance. So we can automatically calculate the ROI, installs, click-through, installations, and CPI. And we use this to track, but also to, let's say, share the report to the influencers and tell them how they, let's say, performing as well. And like I said, we also redesigned the creativities. So that's the second one, and it's a little, let's say, better, because we focus on the music, we focus on the story behind that, and this is how it looks like. Yeah, so it's much better. Definitely, like, the music is more, let's say, live than the previous one. And also, we designed that in the story. So we said to influencer in the brief that this is how it should like, and you can cut it and, let's say, put yourself in some segments. But finally, the story should be around the example one. And also, we change again the bonuses. So we, like I said, we'll take the place for the placeholder for the QR codes and make it, let's say, in the vertical and horizontal version, because some of influencers may only the videos in the vertical way. So that was also the second learn that we got in the we have in the first integration. But also I mentioned about the web and the problem with tracking, because, as you know, when you click on the PC, the link, we lost the attribution. So that was the problematic thing. So we once again make the brainstorming and how we can, let's say, trick this problem, how we can resolve that. So with the developers, game designers, and the whole, let's say, people behind the success, we make the landing page. So we developed the tool that when you click on the web in the PC, the link, our landing page is recognize the link and put the good QR code per influencers. So we, let's say, force the players to always scan the QR code and make the installation from the mobile, not, let's say, remote from the PC. And that was the brilliant, because we have the whole story and we can attribute the players, and we don't have any leaks anymore. And this is the last version of our, let's say, integration. We still, let's say, looking for the unicorn, the best one, and we make once again few changes. And I would like to present you the integration. So yeah, this version we work with the game designers as we think that we have to have the synergy between all departments and connect the dots. Also, the community manager help us a lot with that, as they have the, let's say, the privilege to speak with the players and, let's say, know their expectations. So we, let's say, make it more RPG style integration, and it works very fantastic for us with the influencers. So the key points that we learned during this process, that definitely influencers help us reaching directly to the target. We have the lower entry barrier for the users. They know how to play in the game, even it is complicated a lot. We can use the effect of the authority and authenticity. We know what we buy. It is the time-consuming process without the good automation. Definitely, you need a good BI infrastructure to avoid the leaks in attribution. Use the QR codes and the short links. And sadly, the influencers have the scaling issues, and you can't use it as the substitute of the Apple or the Google. It can be all, like the ads or the DLC for your UA activities. As we see the correlation between the organic with the influencers that they can boost, we can use the viral thing in that. And it can help you to, let's say, make more noise about your game. Also, the agencies fees. Let's say the agencies are cool, they help you a lot, but the fees are killing the system. So we prefer to work directly with the influencers on the revenue share model, because in that model, we don't have the risk. If it will be work for the both sides, and everybody will be happy. And going to the engine that I mentioned at the beginning, we make the test in the business practice. So we use the sample of the influencers, and we see that this engine help us with the higher re-engagement among the users. That average among of the sessions increased by 22% compared with the sample without this engine. Also, we have better retentions like D1, D7, D80, D28, as the length of the session increased by 15%. And overall, the LTV increased over 10%. So we use this engine in the early stage of the game design process and in the managing users' engagement. And I also promise that I will make some, let's say, brainstorming, or I will share my thoughts about the marketing and where is going marketing right now. So definitely, I think that the influencer is something hot topic, because as you know, many, let's say, calls the key opinion leaders make the thing for the game, and also the community is important in gaming, as the big part of how your game will be, let's say, working. So we use that. It's very useful, let's say, channel to get the feedback or to make your game viral. Also, I believe that the streaming is something that we have to look at, because, as you know, Netflix is considered to add the subscription with the ads. So maybe it will be the point to make the ads for us. And also the streaming, like the Twitch, can be useful. So maybe we should think about the game as the viral. AI tools definitely will use that in the marketing, as I think in the future the role of the marketer will be that he will be checking if the things are human enough, as we already work with the black boxes. And maybe that was something that I have in mind, that we treat the data that we in the mobile that we ever have on the plate, and we can track anything as we wish. But this is, let's say, changing. So maybe the approach will be much similar to the PC marketing. However, the yesterday announcement from the App Store that they looking on the PC and consoles too, maybe it will make the PC much easier and more similar to mobile. So we'll see. And that's it. So thank you for your attention. And let's go with the questions.
Okay, so let's start a short Q&A session. If you want to ask a question, raise your hand. I will pass the microphone to you.
Hi, Alexander Nifer from Hype Train. You mentioned a lot of challenges while working with influencer marketing campaigns. So, what is the most critical one you have faced?
So the most critical is that on the other side we have the human. So he has, let's say, some expectations, and you have to, let's say, encourage them that the revenue share model is more, let's say, valid, as he not risk a lot and he got a lot. We can go with, let's say, the example of the Airs Nike, like the Jordan, because the Jordan was the guy who I think used the revenue share model the most, because he said that he don't want, let's say, the one pay, like the flat fee, but he want the 1% per each par. So I think we have to convince the influencers to do revenue share model.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. It was a great one.
You're welcome.
Can I ask how many influencers have you selected per campaign, and how many flights of the video have you did per influencer? Of the selected ones, of course, the ones that delivered good results.
Yeah, so I didn't mention that before, but I think it's better to work with the micro influencer or the small influencers because they have like the bigger engagement and they care about your game. So we focus on the, let's say, small channels between 100 to 300,000 of the views, because with that kind of influencers, they bring not the people, they bring the whole guild, the whole teams, and they play together. So this model definitely works better with the smaller, let's say, channels, like the revenue share model. And regarding the creatives, how many we made, it's a hard question because we make, let's say, our dream scenario, and we count on the creativity of the influencers. So each, let's say, integration have unique aspect as influencers doing himself or herself, and make that very, very unique. So I can send in 1,000. But mainly we produce a lot, like let's say 6 main concepts done, and then they go viral. I hope that's enough for you.
Okay.
Thanks for the presentation. I have one question. Did you manage to find a big influencer with rev share model? Because usually they are up to flat fees.
Yeah, so like I said, regarding the revenue share model, it works on them smaller because they don't have, let's say, managers and etc. And when you present the, let's say, perspective that, okay, I can give you the flat fee on that, let's say, rates, but if we compare that, what you can get with the revenue share model after, let's say, taking care and be engagement in the integration, it will work as they have, let's say, the perspective, the imagination, what they can get, and it really work. And if influencers are really into the game, they have the, let's say, huge refs.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, if we don't have any questions, so special thanks to our speaker. Thank you very much, Kacper.
Thank you very much. Also, if you have any questions, I encourage you to bring the coffee and we can talk after the lecture. So thank you very much.